Hey everyone, I know I promised you a kitchen tour for forever, and since there are other parts of the house that I'm keeping off limits right now, like the front of my house, I thought this would be a good time to show you my kitchen. Not so much a tour, although that's part of it, but I also wanted to give you some decorating tips and remodeling tips on a budget. So that's probably going to be the last you see of my face for a while. You'll hear me talking, but I can't swivel my head around and be on one side of the camera and show you what's going on the other side of the camera. So anyway, here we go. Well, actually, let me give you a little background. So this house, first of all, I know that most people's kitchens are not this big. This is Texas. Everything's bigger for actually a lot less money than most of the rest of the United States and the world. So I am perfectly aware that most people don't have a kitchen this size, but I think that you can adapt what I've done to yours. So this is a basic stock house, which meant that it was built by a big builder who just throws up houses, basically vomits them up. So my house is pretty much a stock house. Basic yellowy oak cabinets. I did have Corian countertops, but they were like a yucky beige. And a tile floor, which was okay, but it was nothing. It was beige. Everything was beige. My house was beige. So the first thing that you can do to kind of dress up your house to make it look more like a home is to put color on the walls. I love a buttery yellow. It's just, to me, it's sunny and happy. So we painted this side of the house. As you can see, the family room and kitchen is that yellow color. It's neutral. It goes with everything, but at the same time, it warms up the space. I think all our paint colors are Sherwin-Williams, by the way. So there's that. Anyway, finally, after living in the house for almost 9 years, we decided it was time to remodel the house. Not the house, remodel the kitchen. And it's just one of those things that I really wanted. It wasn't a need, but in some ways, if you want to sell your house ever, you kind of have to keep it updated. So there were some things that we did to mitigate the costs. So let me start with the breakfast area. Whoa. Sorry, the sunlight is really bright because that's why we picked this house, because of the sunlight. Anyway, this is my breakfast area, and those valances are from Target. They are balloon shades that I've just kept up to look like valances. And my next big project is I'm going to ask a friend of mine who knows how to sew to just sew them straight across like a normal neat hem, so they'll look a little more like Roman shade, just to kind of clean it up, give it a little less poofy. The poofy look was nice 8 years ago, but now I want more tailored lines. The light fixture we ordered from, let's see if this is better, yeah, from Ballard. And you'd think it was really expensive, but it was about $100, which really isn't bad for a chandelier like that. And we ordered those little seagrass shades, which were kind of on the pricier side. So if you can shop around and find those cheaper, I would highly recommend it. Then the table looks really fancy, but it is from Rooms to Go, which is in the States a really cheap furniture place. Ooh, this light. Here we go. That's a little better. So those the 4 chairs that are green and the table set came together, and it was not expensive at all. It's a very low-end brand. But when you have kids and dogs, I just don't think it's right to invest too much money in furniture. And then we dressed it up a little bit by ordering these. Can you see them? Ugh. There we go. That's a little better. These seagrass chairs. And these are from Ballard. And again, if you wait for a sale, you keep your eyes open, you'd be surprised. One place where I kept my budget low is instead of putting in plantation shutters, which I love, we just ordered regular old Hunter Douglas blinds. So much less expensive and easy to maintain. Okay, moving along. So here's the bulk of the kitchen. This is where we decided what was worth salvaging and what wasn't. When we did our budget, we decided that it was not very cost effective to rip out all the cabinets. that would have that would have skyrocketed and made this absolutely unaffordable project. So what I did instead was we have the cabinets painted. So as you can see, this is where we keep our garbage. And do you see this? This is the original color. This is where Bosley has been scratching to try to get the cabinet open. This is my handy dandy secure device to keep them shut. So that was the original color, and I can get that touched up again. That's not a big deal. And we did have them distressed on purpose, so some minor scratching won't be horrible. But one thing I did to make my cabinets look more custom is, I don't know if you can see the detail here, but this is wainscoting or beadboard, and it's just painter grade. We picked it up at Home Depot for, I don't know, 10 bucks, and had the carpenters put that on the edges of all the cabinets and then paint it to match so they look more custom. Now, as far as the sink goes, and this is a working kitchen. I didn't clean it up for you guys, so this is what it looks like normally. Let's see. Staying with the cabinets, so I really kept my costs down by not replacing them at all. Another thing I did to dress them up was the hardware. And to save money, I got these at Home Depot, all of these. And they sell little kits, like a template on how to install them. So instead of hiring somebody else to do this, there are a lot of them, as you can see, I did it myself. I installed all the little handles myself. So I saved a couple $100, I guess, or more. I don't know. Another thing we did with the cabinets, just to make it look more custom, which was not a lot of money, was the cabinets over the microwave. We had them take out the middle panel and replace them with frosted glass. That just dresses it up a little bit. Okay, countertops. I really wanted soapstone, but it's astronomical. I mean, there's no reason, and there's no way in my budget we could afford that. What I got instead was black granite, and I had the guy hone it down. It's called honed granite, so it looks like soapstone, and it's about 1/4 of the cost. And because it's not a shiny granite, which most kitchens who have granite, they're shiny granite, it does not show fingerprints. So that was key. I thought that was important. I also really wanted Carrara Marble, but Carrara Marble is really expensive. I lucked out. I was working with a designer, which you would think would cost you more money, but in the end saved me a fortune. And she had a scrap left over from another one of her jobs, so she just threw this in because this wasn't going anywhere. This is a scrap piece that fit. So don't rule out expensive things. If you go to salvage yards or work with a designer that understands the concept of a budget, which is key, you can actually end up saving a lot of money and be able to get things you didn't anticipate. Another thing I saved a lot of money on, I did my research, and instead of having this painted and then stained and all that, I went to Home Depot again, love Home Depot, and found this stain by Minwax it's a polyurethane stain paint with the polyurethane top coat, satin top coat built in. So this island was always here, but when we stained it black, it just totally changed the look of the kitchen. The floor, again, working with a designer, I actually couldn't afford this floor in the beginning when I looked at it on my own, but then working with someone else, I was able to get a really good deal on the floor. So this is porcelain tile, and for me it was really important to not have as small a grout line as possible because I hate grout because it shows all the dirt. Right, Rookie? Is that Rookie? Yeah. So we did it, and this is called a brick pattern, and it just kind of breaks up the monotony of a really long floor that I have here. And there's Mimi waiting by the door. She so wants to go out, don't you? And there's Bosley on the other side of the door, just sunning himself. So what I love about this floor is that it does not show dirt, like at all. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And then one last thing, appliance-wise, watch your sales, read consumer reports like it's the Bible, because if it's not recommended by consumer reports, all I can say is don't buy it, because we have had zero maintenance issues with these appliances. And to be fair, we replace these stainless steel things one at a time. As each thing broke, we replaced it. I did not go out whole hog and go buy all new appliances. That's just ridiculous. So there's no reason why you have to go out and replace everything at once. That costs a lot of money, but if you can budget and plan as things break or as you can afford things, you replace them. So it's your kitchen. I just wanted to show you one thing I got from one of my subscribers and another YouTube beauty guru. Her name is Teresa, Beauty for Every Day, and she sent me this. And she made this. How cool is that? My name is a little weird, so I don't get a lot of personalized things. So thank you, Teresa. I love it. I will never actually use it because I don't want it to get dirty, but it will stay there. So that's my kitchen. I mean, it's not all that exciting. I know and I'm going to sweep past it. There's a picture frame right there next to the telephone. I'm going to go past it one more time really quick. I put the kids, like our name and address, and here, I'm just going to pan around. Our name and address, and what else is on there? Cell phone numbers, nearest major intersection, neighbors' numbers, doctors' numbers, all that. So if there's an emergency and a babysitter panics, she doesn't forget where we live or can give information, where's our nearest intersection, the ages of the kids, the ages of the dogs, the names. In an emergency, we'd hope that a babysitter would call me first and then we'd go from there. But I think it's a great way to have that important information handy and yet decorative. So for those of you with children, that's a great tip I picked up somewhere, I don't know where. So, one more thing about my sink. I'm very proud about my sink. It's dirty, but my decorator found that faucet for like $600, and I told her she was out of her mind. And I went to efaucets.com and I found it for like 120 bucks. Same brand and everything, and then had it shipped to me and installed. So, yeah, sometimes designers can save you money and sometimes they don't. One more thing I want to show you before I leave, and my batteries run out of juice here. Yeah, we're packing, so that I've got my long underwear collection that we just bought yesterday for the trip. But these stools I got at Garden Ridge, which is sort of like an outlet store, and they are exact duplicates of the ones from Pottery Barn, but instead of being like $200 each, these were $50. And the cushions are from Walmart. So, yes, there are some expensive things in here, but we mixed it up with some less expensive things, and anyway, so I hope that those things helped you. I'm by no means an expert in design or home remodeling, but I have done my share. So if you have any questions or want some ideas on how to save some money in the process, because it can get quite expensive, please feel free to ask, shoot me a question. And I hope that you enjoyed this little kitchen tour. I'm sorry it's, I think, 3 months overdue now. And anyway, I hope you liked it. That's a little slice of my house, and I'll see y'all real soon. Thanks. Bye.